Hello everybody, my name is Scott Fisher. I have a new record that just came out not too long ago. I'm very excited to have people hear it finally and for it to be out in the world. So this is one track here off the record, A Billion Suns, the title track. So the song was born out of just a simple little fluty mellotron sound we had running through some pedals. And the track is a very simple 5-4-1 progression, but I brought in kind of a major 7 with a 9, so that kind of leaves this unresolved emotional tenor to the track, which connects with the lyric, which is about losing someone incredibly close to you and kind of watching them slowly fade away. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that in different ways. So it just has this kind of which would almost sound a little bit dissonant perhaps, but as opposed to more of just a pentatonic-y kind of thing or major. But with the groove and Tim's incredible melodic bass, it just brought a texture out with the vocal melody, which is a little more on the simple chord tones and not using the 9 and the 7s in the vocal melody. Anyhow, it's a cool little tune, simple little verse there with the 5-4-1, and then it goes into a little bit of a more chromatic descending pattern for the chorus. And Tim Lefebvre, who co-produced the record, came up with the brilliant idea to pull the drums out on the chorus, which changed everything for me because instead of having this kind of linear feeling to the track, it started to have this depth of a high and a low. And once that chorus had no drums on it, we were really inspired to work with some backward pianos and the ARP and the Juno, which they have at the Sonic Ranch there, the old vintage ARPs and Junos, where you can kind of time sync the arpeggiation to the tempo of the song. So that's what we ended up doing on as it gets progressively further into the tune. We use more of those elements, and yeah, so cool little ditty. That's the initial flute. It doesn't have to try that hard. So the verse, we keep it really simple. You can see it's not his way. We reversed some pianos, ran some of those synths through pedals, and just had a lot of fun with the sonic scapes here. We get to the chorus, we pull the drums out. It's like the weight of a billion suns coming at you fast. I know where we go, where we land. I love what Tim does here, adding this kind of psychedelic Paul McCartney bounce. And the song really is about the transient nature of life and just how lucky we are to be here and how quickly it evaporates, and nothing here will last is the tagline after the chorus there. I'm fast forwarding to the second chorus here. We're on the verse. You should see what's there inside. And here's where we bring in the ARPs and the Junos, which I love. And again, Tim with the counterpoint bass there is incredible. Little vocoder here on the tagline. And now we're in the outro chorus. And we wanted to give it a little weight. So again, Tim suggested maybe let's just go for some classic, crunchier guitar. And we tuned some flying V guitar down a half step, turned it up, and just straight triads, none of the 7 or 9 voicings there at the end, and it just kind of gives us a little bit of a powerful lift on the way out. And there you have it, A Billion Suns. There's 9 tracks on the record. We recorded it down at East West here in Hollywood, in Los Angeles. Incredible studio where they did Pet Sounds, and Phil Spector had his whole wall of sound. It's an incredible place. Thank you, Candace, for always being cool and letting us work there. We did the basic tracks there with the incredible Joey Waronker on drums. What a pleasure to work with him. He's friends with Tim. Tim Lefebvre, the co-producer, is my longtime friend and collaborator, and he suggested we bring in Joey, who I have known of for so long. I mean, he's played on some of my favorite records, from Elliott Smith, Figure 8, Tom York. He tours with Oasis now. I mean, Joey is Beck, every Beck record. I mean, incredible musician. So it was such a blessing to be able to have him participate in the record. And Tim as well on the bass, incredible. So Joey Waronker on drums, Tim Lefebvre on bass. I played the Wurlitzer. Once we had the basic tracks done from East West, Tim and I went out to the Sonic Ranch near El Paso, Texas, in a little town called Tornillo, Texas. Our friend Tony Rancich has an incredible recording studio there, and Tim and I spent a week at the Sonic Ranch and just did all the super fun stuff, all the Sonicscapes, all the guitars, did my lead vocals and background vocals there. And yeah, once we had that, I mixed it in my home studio here in LA, and we had the pleasure of Dave Cooley from Elysian Masters, also incredibly musical, talented mastering engineer, did the mastering. So just blessed to be able to work with these incredible musicians that make my vision so much stronger than it would be on my own, that's for sure. So I feel very lucky. And yeah, just a fun record to make. A lot of the songs came together fairly quickly. Dangerous Game is a song on there that I wrote. It's one of those songs I wrote in one sitting, which is super rare. Oftentimes I have to sculpt and work on a song for weeks, months, years sometimes. Every once in a while, as songwriters know, when that song happens quickly, it's a blessing, and it's kind of the feeling I look for artistically. Just, it's almost like a song you're pulling out of the air as opposed to something you're having to work for, which is rare. That was the song Dangerous Game. Try So Hard, which kind of, I thought that's later in the record. I can't remember, the 8th song, I think, 7th or 8th song. I thought that was more of a B-side no one was going to be that interested in. Funny enough, college radio's been playing it a lot. So as I said, I never really know what people are going to gravitate towards, or what they're not going to gravitate to. And ironically, that Try So Hard is the one song we did not track at East West, and I sent the demos to Joey Waronker, and he tracked in his home studio. And then Tim and I tracked all the rest of the stuff at the Sonic Ranch. But in my head, I was telling myself, oh, we didn't get the big studio $100,000 drum mic sound on this song, so maybe it's just not going to be as good. or it's just going to sound a little bit less large. But in fact, again, we all know this, but it's the emotional tenor. And to be honest, you could be recording on a small little mic in your home, and if the ideas are incredible, usually that's going to be it is always the most important thing, of course. So it's the song, it's the performance, it's the emotion, always first. And then to be able to work in these great facilities is just icing on the cake, but not a necessary factor, which I have proven to myself again. So anyhow, hope you guys are doing well, and would love it if you took a minute and listened to the record. We're very proud and excited of it. It's A Billion Suns. My name is Scott Fisher. Thank you very much.